Good afternoon, and today's review is Jim Beam Signature Craft Quarter Cask finished. So Kentucky Straight Bourbon Whiskey Quarter Cask finished. The Jim Beam Signature Craft is a brand extension that I think was launched in 2012. There's a permanent product in this brand line, and it is the 12-year-old, just trying to think here, the Jim Beam Signature Craft 12-year-old bourbon is kind of a permanent feature of this brand line. But then in addition to that, each year they have a different bourbon come out in this Signature Craft. It's supposed to be a small batch bourbon. I don't know how small a small batch is. They don't really define it. Could be hundreds of thousands of bottles, I suspect. In a way, because small batch is not legally defined or have any formal meaning. In any case, we're going to review tonight the Quarter Cask. This was released in 2014. It has an alcohol, it's 86% proof. It's Kentucky Straight Bourbon Whiskey, and I am a Jim Beam fan in general. I don't like flavored whiskeys that they were trying to launch a while ago, but I like Jim Beam Black, which is an 8-year-old Kentucky Straight Bourbon, which I think is excellent value for money. If you have not tried bourbon or you have not been familiar with the Jim Beam brand, please try Jim Beam Black. High quality bourbon at a very reasonable price, like $25, $26 in the United States. A word of caution with respect to Jim Beam Black. In Canada and other export markets, Jim Beam Black is only aged 6 years and is an inferior product to the American domestic market 8-year-old. And in fact, I would pass over it in export markets. Anyway, export markets, they sound like some corporate wonk. Anyway, moving on to this whiskey. Let's start. There's no age statement, but if I read on their website, I think they say it's aged 5 to 6 years. And the way this whiskey is produced, it's actually a blend of bourbons. It's not a single distillation of bourbon that is then moved to casks and finished in different casks like, I don't know, sherry or export or even brandy or cognac. It's not that kind of traditional finishing. What they do is they take several different bourbons from the distillery, age them differently, and then the finished product is finished in different bottles, or different small casks and blended. The nose is spicy. I smell rye, little floral notes, copper, cinnamon, lavender. It's a very nice nose on this whiskey. And by the way, this retails for around $39, $35, $39 bucks, I think. Sweet corn notes. The texture is viscous, toasted oak, lemon zest, apricot. You're left with a medium spiced rye finish. There's oak, there's vanilla. The finish is good length. This is good whiskey. This is a good quality bourbon. If you don't know what the fascination about bourbon is, start with Jim Beam Black and then come try this. And probably when you hear the word Jim Beam, you're thinking Talladega Nights, NASCAR, Jim Beam, the white label, standard bottling, which is not intended to be drank straight. Please don't confuse the great Jim Beam brand with their entry-level mix product. This is a good quality bourbon, and again, Jim Beam Black, I just love this stuff. Rich corn, rye. I have no idea what the mash bill is, but it tastes like limestone water. This is good. There's a lot going on. Good bourbon. And now for the price. I can't recall what I paid for this. I think it was around $35, and maybe it was $33. I bought it in New Hampshire. I buy everything in New Hampshire because New Hampshire's so cheap. Anyway, I bought a bottle of this and a bottle of the 12-year-old Signature wine, Signature Craft, and I think the total for the 2 bottles came to $73 or $79. Anyway, good bargain. I recommend this bourbon. I think you should try it. I think the price is reasonable in the $33 to $35 range. If you can get it on sale, well then be careful when you buy it. The police might be waiting outside to arrest you for such a good deal. Not a strong drink at 86. You don't need to add water. For those of you who like ice with their bourbon, I think you'll like this too. I wouldn't bother to add ice myself. Cheers, and thanks for watching.